This is the Leapmotor B10, and it's the latest electric SUV from Leapmotor, which is a sort of Chinese Stellantis joint venture, which means it's a Chinese car that you'll be able to buy in Vauxhall dealers. But is it any good? So, what is Leapmotor? Well, firstly, it's a Chinese car company. What else is new? At the minute, they only sell electric cars, but unlike all the other Chinese car makers, this one is owned 20% by Stellantis, which is the enormous company that also owns Vauxhall, Peugeot, Citroen, Fiat, Alfa Romeo, lots and lots of other companies. And they say, Leapmotor says, that this input has made their cars more suitable for Europe than the average Chinese car. So we are here in the south of France to see if this new B10 is actually anything like a European car to drive or to sit in. So let's talk about the interior. So it's quite nice actually. It's pleasantly designed, it's quite interesting. It's all reasonably logically laid out. I've got some steering wheel controls here, although they're the sort of strange scroll wheel things and some very minimalist buttons to press. But I really like all the materials. They are actually pretty nice, even though it's that classic eco leather, which actually just means plastic. It all feels pretty premium and actually pretty solidly put together. I can't really complain too much about the interior. The tech also, well, on the face of it, it looks quite good. All the screens, very, very crisp. This one in front of me looks very nice. This enormous touchscreen in the centre, also very crisp, very responsive as well. Leapmotor says it feels like a premium smartphone. I'm not sure that's strictly the case, but it's fine. It does the job. You've got these seats are electric. Both the driver and the passenger have got electrically adjustable seats, and they are both heated and cooled. I mean, how many B segment SUVs, or C segment, whatever you want to say, at 30 grand have got heated and cooled front seats that are electric and all this other stuff? You've also got this panoramic roof with an electric blind, so none of this strange tinty glass stuff going on here. It is a proper actual blind. There's a lot of kit, basically, in short, and you'll probably see that if you look at the spec sheet. It is loaded with stuff for this amount of money. I would say it's better equipped than some of its Chinese rivals from Jaecoo, Omoda, etc., etc. It's also very spacious. So obviously I can't sit in the back right now and I do not have time to set the camera up to do that. But I can sit behind myself here with loads of room. There is room probably for 4 or maybe 5 6-footers to get in this car without complete discomfort. For a car of this price, that is really impressive. It's also very, very quiet. So I've been driving this on roads like this, which are about 30 miles an hour. I've been driving them on motorway speeds about 70. It's very hushed. There's a lot of soundproofing in here, and okay, I have to kind of try it in the UK on our ridiculously horrible road surfaces to completely prove that, but so far so good. So let's talk about the motor and the battery. So this gets a 67.1 kilowatt hour battery, which is, by the standards of a car like this, enormous. That means a range of about 270 miles, officially. We'll see if that actually pans out in winter in the UK, but you do at least get a heat pump as standard, which lots of cheap electric cars don't get. So well done Leapmotor for throwing that in. Motor-wise, you get a single 200 and just over 200 brake horsepower motor at the rear. So this is a rear-wheel drive car, which can only be a good thing in a car like this when you've got that much power, because if you've driven a Vauxhall Mocha or a Renault Megane or anything like that, you will notice that quite often the front wheels are overwhelmed by the amount of power distributed by an electric motor, because of course it likes to give all of its torque immediately. So it doesn't torque steer like a front wheel drive car, which is great news. It can even charge pretty quickly. So the max charge rate on a rapid charger is 168 kilowatts, which is more than most of its rivals. It's certainly more than most cheap Chinese cars, which tend to top out at slightly less than 100. It'll also charge at 11 kilowatt on an AC, which if you, well, you won't have it in your house because no one does in the UK, an 11 kilowatt charger. But if you stop in a town and there's an 11 kilowatt charger, you can top up the battery a bit quicker than some of its rivals. So that's all good. What's less good, there's quite a lot of unfinished things going on in this car. So there's a bit of an issue with Chinese cars and driver aids, for example. So this one keeps telling me, regardless of what I'm doing, that I need to take a break, constantly. The other thing is the voice recognition in this, and I know you might say, oh, well, you know, nobody uses voice recognition in cars. But when there's an enormous touchscreen like this that you have to do everything through, you sometimes want to talk to the car rather than take your eyes off the road to deal with it. And this is just beyond hopeless. I'm going to try and demonstrate it, but it's probably not going to go well. Hi, Leapmotor.
I'm coming.
Are you?
Sorry, I didn't understand. Please put it in another way.
Okay. Set the temperature to 22.
I can't understand what you said. Could you put it more simply?
No problem. Set the temperature to 22 degrees.
Okay, driver's seat temperature adjusted. I can't understand what you said. Could you put it more simply?
What? Did you do it or not?
I can't understand what you said. Could you put it more simply?
I'll try another one. Hi, Leapmotor.
I am listening.
Set destination for Paris.
Okay.
Okay, does that mean you're doing it?
Sorry, I didn't understand. Please put it in another way.
Set destination for Paris.
I can't understand what you said. Could you put it more simply?
I want to go to Paris.
Found a result. Should we go now?
Yes! Yes, go there.
Multiple results are found.
No!
Which one do you want to choose?
No!
Well, call me if you need me.
Oh. Yeah, so I mean, that needs a little bit of work, I would say. And then we come on to the handling. So, Stellantis will say that this has had an injection of European driving sensibilities because their engineers in Italy have tuned it to feel more like a European car rather than a Chinese one. I don't know if they were just having an off day or they've not had a lot of money to spend on it, because it doesn't feel like a European car. It feels quite obviously like a Chinese car. And by that I mean the steering is very, very vague and very, very light, even in sport mode, which I have it in here. The damping of the suspension is incredibly, I mean, what's the word I can use? Loose. The positives are it's very, very smooth. So it's very easy to drive in a relaxed kind of around town manner. Like the brakes are pretty consistent. They don't have a horrible bitey feel to them, which some Chinese cars do and some electric cars do. So that's fine. It's just a bit disappointing. I feel like this could be a much better car because it's pretty well built from what I can feel. It's got a lot of kit. They're going to sell it in Stellantis dealerships across the UK. I just wish it felt a little bit nicer to drive. And if nothing else, I wish the tech was a little bit more there. So, should you spend your hard-earned cash on one of these? I suppose it depends on what you want from a car. If you're expecting it to be any good to drive whatsoever, probably not. Because it's just sort of a bit hopeless when things get twisty. If that doesn't matter to you at all, then sure, why not? Because it's spacious, it's comfortable, it's got quite a nice interior. I think you just have to have the caveat that all of this stuff might not be quite as polished as you're imagining. So that's our first look at the Leapmotor B10. Hope you enjoyed this very brief video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this from Car Test Lab.